What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your friendly Let's Play Crash Bandicoot 2 Part 5. We're now beginning the level 12 sewer or later, the second sewer level and the second level in the third warp room. The third warp room, surprisingly enough, is supposed to be in Cortex's power plant in the sewer system around the the toxic waste facility. So it's more supposed to be around toxic, the level toxic waste, and around Pinstripe's office, rather than Castle Machinery, Cortex Power. Well, uh, yeah, I believe it is supposed to be around toxic waste, Pinstripe's office, rather than Generator Room and Cortex Power. But you see, there you go. You have to be careful not to get into the water, or you will take damage. Okay, so you can see here the yellow gym path, and I forgot to mention in part 4 that the yellow gym does not look like it did in the original. Some of these gyms don't look like they did in the original, like the red gym doesn't, but the red gym wasn't. I still say that was a peach colored gym rather than a red colored gym that you got from Slippery Climb, and even so, it still doesn't look like the original. And why I want to go this way is because the yellow gym route will take you underneath all of this. If you can actually see right under Crash's feet, some moving things, Bubbletron down there. That is actually where the underground, or the yellow gym path takes us, and it will take you underneath all this, and you'll actually bypass all of this, and you won't be able to come back, because if you notice that fan that's going really fast, you have to spin a Bubbletron into it to be able to get past through there. So that's why you have to, if you want to go after both. If you want to go after all the boxes, you have to do it this way, and then backtrack back to the yellow gym route. But anyway, so in the yellow gym in Crash 1 looked a lot like the yellow gym, or the green gym, except I believe the yellow gym was just a little bit taller and not quite so wide. Neither gym was as wide or flat as the blue gym, but the green gym looked very similar to the yellow gym, and well, I guess the yellow gym looked really similar to the green gym. I don't think they were the exact same. As I said, I believe the yellow gym was just a little bit taller and not quite so wide as that gym. But anyway, so now you can see here, once you get through this fan, you can see, there you go, there's the red, the gym path. Now, what I would normally suggest is just save this so that you can, use it for backup there, but because I'm going to be going through a lot of this water, and just to help save time, I would like to go ahead and take use the the mask now, just so that I can get back to the yellow gym path a lot faster. And there you go. So anyway, now we are along the yellow gym path. The biggest problem here is that the water will stay electrified the entire time. They will never stop being having electricity run through it. Let me think. I actually think you can get. I don't believe there's actually any boxes down through here. It's just to get that gym, the gym that I just got, about halfway through. So you could die and not go through any of this, but it's just a lot faster and a lot easier if you go ahead and do it like this, or at least in my opinion. It may not be at the end of the day, but anyway. So again, it's not really that hard of a section, really. It's just the water always always having electricity run through it is the biggest problem and the hardest problem. Past that is actually pretty simple. I forgot you have to go along the right path first before you can go along the left path. But just like in the Eel Deal, the left path has a gem in it, or the crystal in it. Unlike I don't know where I was going to go after that. Is just just like in the Eel Deal. it is a missable one. You know, if you don't go along that path, the left path, and you just go along the right path, you can actually miss it. But of course, you know, unless you're a child, you won't miss it because you'll think, okay, well, I need to backtrack and go back to that point and see the, you know, and get to the gym. But anyway, so 57 boxes, not too difficult of a level. As I said, the biggest problem is the yellow gym route. It just because the water is always running, always has electricity running through it. Not that long, about, you know, a little over 5.5 minutes. Not too difficult. Not too long. Actually, pretty fun level, to be honest. And let me see.
Crash! Thank goodness. I hacked into Cortex's computer and found detailed schematics for an improved Cortex Vortex and a suspicious-looking space station. I'm not sure, but Cortex might be fine.
Now, when Coco appears, she's actually tied to the gyms, and you can see here I have 18 gyms in total. Once you get 18 gyms, which if you was only going after the box gym for every level she would appear after level 18, but because I'm going after you know, box gyms and color gyms and secret route clear gyms, she will appear sooner. But you know, that is what it's tied to, the gyms. Whenever she says something, and you know, that's just the game never says anything about it, and you wouldn't know unless you had done it both ways. And I have done it both ways before. You know, not went after, or I guess saved all of the secret route gyms or the color gyms for after I beat the game. You know, beat the main story of the game, I guess you could say. Now this one has these two lab assistants carrying lifting these metal crates. I guess the line of metal crates, and that is one of the new challenges through here. Other challenges will be some water that will be a lot wider, or I guess a lot longer, and you have to use the boost before jumping. And little things like this where you have to immediately jump again. Seals, I believe you can actually run through the seals, if I'm not mistaken. You can, I think, charge into them, and you'll be able to kill them. I don't know for sure, but I believe you can. I'll try it out next time I see some seals. The lab assistants you can't hurt, obviously. And I can see here these ice blocks. I'll jump on those in a minute. I do want to go after the gym here really quickly. And I'll go back here on the ice blocks. You want to be careful while on these ice blocks. There's actually two paths you can go. The left path is a little bit more dangerous, but it's a little bit quicker because you don't have to go so far to the right like on that path. You can see here air crash, which will take us to that hidden section in level 7. But this warp portal, I guess warp ring, or you know, whatever you want to call it, blocks Insanity Island. So if you want to look at those, you want to look at them ahead of time, you know, before going into this level, or before going into that section. Now there's actually an interesting way you can actually milk a whole bunch of Wumpa Fruit out of these boxes. If you jump on them, if you only jump on, well, I guess the first box along that trail, you won't be able to get any Wumpa Fruit out of it. But if you hit the other two, if you get those for 9, both, or I guess the last one you get 9 out of, the second one if you get only 1 out of. You can see there's only, I forgot to see how many normal crates were in that level, or in that section, but I'll talk about that during the trivia. But you can actually gain quite a bit of Wumpa Fruit out of the box. I don't remember exactly how I would used to do it, because I know the first box, if you jumped on that 9 times and then, you know, jumped away from it, it would become destroyed, and you wouldn't be able to gain anything from it, and you can go, you can jump on that little square platform and be able to get, you'll be transported to level 2 again if you want to. I don't see why you would, but that is an option if you want to. But the middle box, if you jump on it 9 times, it will break once you get to it. Oh, let me see. The first box will break. The second box will break if you jump on it 9 times. I guess the last box is the one that you can. If you jump on it 9 times, you'll gain 9 Wumpa Fruit out of, and then you can gain an additional 10 Wumpa Fruit out of it by jumping on it with the. Or by going through it with the surfboard. Or you can, the only reason you want to jump on those boxes is just for the 3 lives on it anyway. If you didn't want to go for those 3 lives, you could just gain 31 fruit out of each box. But anyway, so you can go through the death route again. As I said before, if you want to, if you haven't already done it, it makes the level a lot quicker if you go through it the first time like that, instead of having to go through the entire level, only to realize, oh, I forgot, I can't get all the boxes, in one go, or I can't get the box gem in one go. I have to go through a secret route later on in the game, and that has actually tripped me up several times, not paying attention, not remembering which levels you did what, and actually going through the entire level, killing myself in the death route, only to realize, oh, hey, I can't get all the boxes on this go. I have to go through a secret route later on in the game. So, it is something that can catch you out, especially if you haven't played the game in quite a long time, or if you're a new player to the game. It's definitely something you want to be careful for. But you notice that section of stone platforms there. You have to get on the edge of the dock, kind of on one of the posts, top of the post, and then slide across to be able to get to the first section to be able to make it. And you can see 102 boxes again, and one of the top 10 levels that have the most boxes in them. Definitely very long, or it has a lot of boxes in it, but anyway. So that's Warp Room 2 completed, I believe. Yes, okay, so now I will go ahead and do level 14 before ending. This is another level that I won't be able to get all the boxes on, so I won't go through the bonus round. I'll save that for when I go through the level, or once I can go to the secret route and everything. But this is actually a very interesting level, and now that I learned the location of the warp rooms, I never learned about it until I started doing research for this Let's Play. And this is supposed to be set in or around the same ruins as Sunset Vista. And you can see Cortex's castle right there. If I can get it high enough, I think I can. I don't believe the blimp will actually be there, but you can see Cortex Castle over there. The entire thing. So that kind of tells you, okay, so we are on Intensity Island, but like where at? Well, because Cortex Island is so close, you could probably guess you are somewhere pretty close to Sunset Vista. Now, you can see some silhouettes in the background that there is a death route here as well, which I will go ahead and hit, but I'll make sure that I I was gonna say, I want to make sure that I go after this. Now, if I was to die here, and I'll go ahead and trip this checkpoint, if I was to die here, the death route would still be available for me to get to. It's as long as you don't die before getting to the death route, you'll be fine. But if you die on the way up to the death route, that's where you'll have the problems at. But you can either go through the death route because it misses a lot of that section that I was just at. I was thinking there was a mask up there, but I guess not. you know, you can also run back to get there to get the crystal, but I just find it a lot easier, so I don't have to walk backwards through this level, because it's actually pretty difficult running through this level backwards. You can see the crap. Lost my masks, but oh well, that shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. Biggest thing I'll just have to watch out for is these fire statues, or the flaming statues there. This stink, I could have swore that I would get a mask here, but I guess not. Yeah, if there was a mask there, I would have gotten it, because I would have used the body slam, which gives you a little bit of extra height. So if there's something that you have to jump on, that you're worried that you won't be able to get just by jumping normally, you know, you can do it. You know, you can use the body slam and be able to reach it. But anyway, so don't worry about, you know, these platforms won't move around or anything. They're just platforms that you can ride around on. Nothing else dangerous past that. The logs will hurt you, you know, obviously, so you definitely want to be very careful. Now, you could trip all those boxes and gain some extra Wumpa Fruit if you're, you know, worried about lives, if you are low on them. That is actually a very great way to help keep your lives up, is all those boxes there, as well as the Wumpa Fruit in the death route. While there isn't that much of it, you know, every little bit helps, especially with Wumpa Fruit. But since lives are not a concern to me, I'll just go ahead and skip all that Wumpa Fruit and just go through here. And it would have been quicker if I would have just waited and rode around it like this. Okay. Now this, you know, is the added problem there, is some of the ruins will fall out from underneath. Now this will actually make you slide. You know, you'll slide down the ruins on these pillars. So you definitely want to be very careful about you know, how you travel along through there. Along those, we'll see them later on, in maybe not in this level, but I know in the second level theme like this we will. Now this brings you to the end of that long platform where I kept coming back to. You know, if I wanted to backtrack there, I could, but I'm not going to for time reasons. And there's just really no reason to. You know, I'll show all that off once I get to the level where I can get all the boxes. Where, as I said, I won't go through the bonus round either. I'll just wait, and you can see here's another monkey. Now, if you haven't noticed, some of these enemies will actually have cybernetic parts on them. The monkeys have a cybernetic arm and some metal plating on its tail. You could really see it more prominently. You can see 89 boxes through this for this level. I believe you can actually gain 57 boxes if you go through this level normally. You know, if you go through the bonus round, get all the boxes and everything, you can gain 57 boxes by itself. But you can really see the cybernetic parts on the turtles in Turtlewood and the vultures and all that from the first warp room. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I'm going to talk about the trivia and everything first, of course, like I normally do. And so we'll start with Sewer or Later. 1 crystal, 2 gems, both of them are clear. Enemies are Eel, Fan, Flamethrowing Scientist, or Lab Assistant, Rolling, Toxic Waste Can, Spike Rat, and Scrubbing Bubbletron. 57 boxes for that level. Sewer or Later is the 12th level in Crash Bandicoot 2. In this level taking place later than Eel Deal. Crash explores a sewer. This stage introduces triple-bladed fans that spin entirely too fast for Crash to slip through. Unharmed, the player is supposed to take out the blades first by spinning the scrubbing bubbletrons into them. The players obtain the yellow gem from the previous level of Plant Food. They can access the stage's secret yellow gem path, a sinister series of challenging and shocking jumps, simplified only by the fact that the only necessary item on said route, a clear gem, is located very early on, so there's literally no reason to traverse the whole thing. This particular section of the sewers is not really located in the sewers at all, but rather Flooded Ruins, a split path later on in the main body of the level, awkwardly requires the player to take the right path just long enough to reach the exclamation crate, then backtrack to the left path to break the crates created and collect the crystal, re-backtrack to take the right path again to finish, then re-backtrack to take the right path again to finish off this level. Trivia: sooner or later is most likely derived from the phrase sooner or later. This is the only level out of the sewer levels where an electric eel always remains in their electrifying phase. However, this special eel can only be found in the yellow gem path of this level. This level also introduces the flamethrower lab assistant, which is from here on in the sewer levels. This is the only level out of the sewer levels where there are no wire meshes. Alrighty, so yeah, it's warp. You know, the third warp room is the old toxic refinery, so I guess it's, you know, around toxic waste. You know, Pinstripe's lab. Bear down, crystal, 1 gem clear, 42 boxes, totem pole, first seal, orca, and the lifters, which are the 2 lab assistants lifting the line of metal crates. Bear down is the 13th level in Crash Bandicoot. The level plays similar to Barrett, where Crash rides on Polar and must maneuver him through a maze of obstacles and enemies that he must avoid. The level of degree for this level is more difficult than Barrett and takes place during the evening rather than during the day. There are also more pits and obstacles that Crash and Polar must navigate around, one of these being the cargo lifting lab assistants that lift a metal crate and drop it every few seconds. The main objective of this level is to make it to the end of the level without crashing into enemies or obstacles. Since there are no Aku masks in this level, Crash cannot hit any of the enemies that are scattered around the course. Crash can control the speed of Polar by having him speed up by pressing a specific button, which allows him to reach higher crates and jump over larger pits. However, if Crash goes too fast with Polar, then he has a higher chance of hitting another enemy or obstacle. Crash has to be careful of the TNT crates around the level, as they will count down as soon as he gets near them. Once Crash reaches the end of the level, Polar will launch him across a giant chasm, which will place him in front of the exit to the warp room. However, if Crash turns his back to the warp room exit, he will notice a group of icebergs in the water. Crash can jump on the icebergs to access a secret portal, which will warp him to a secret warp room. In the process of jumping on the icebergs, Crash has to be careful, as the icebergs will start to sink after being jumped on. See, trivia. The name of the level is based on the phrase "man down," which is used when a fellow soldier is wounded or killed in a battle, although it could also be a play on the phrase "bearing down," which means to approach something in a determined and threatening manner, and usually fast. Alright, so we'll do Air Crash, Crystal, 2 gems clear, 102 boxes, Fish, I guess I did already talk about that, didn't I? I just didn't do the, Air Crash is the 7th level in Crash Bandicoot 2, the, Hang 8 in the previous warp room. It is a stream-based level in which Crash gets to ride his jetboard, breaking all the crates and obtaining the clear gem. For doing so is only possible by discovering the secret entrance for this level from the secret warp area in Bear Down, as not only does it contain several normal crates, but also the only nitro switch crate in the level. The normal crates, the other gem is found on a death route, the first of the game. This level also contains a secret exit of its own. Skip the first jet board and instead have Crash jump across the floating crates until he reaches a stone platform. This platform will warp him to the secret warp room, where the portal to the secret area of Snowgo will be unlocked. There are actually 20 on the secret route. 20 boxes, not counting the nitro crates, so I guess there's only 26 nitro crates in the level. Trivia: this level's name is an obvious reference to Nike's popular line of Air Jordan shoes, named after and originally endorsed by popular basketball athlete Michael Jordan. The Air Jordan shoes purported to help one be good at the sport of basketball, even though in reality they were exactly like normal shoes, but expensive. Alright, so we will do a Road to Ruin. Oh, I guess we can't do Road to Ruin because of the, I guess I did do the entire level, didn't I? So, Crystal, 2 gems clear, 89 boxes total, Jumping Monkey, Log Throwing Monkey, Spike Lizard, and the Possum. Road to Ruin is the 14th level in Crash Bandicoot 2. It is somewhat similar to the Ruin-themed levels from the first game specifically, Temple Ruins and Jaws of Darkness, though this time level takes place outside. In order to gain this level's first gem, the player must break all of the level's crates, which can only be achieved by using the secret warp in a later level in the 4th warp room and entering through the... Okay, so... although with a bit of skill it is possible to jump the gaping chasm via the standard entrance, the second gem can be collected along the level's death route. If you notice at the beginning, you could see a set of 4, or I guess 6 outline crates. You could, I guess you could slide across there. I'm not sure exactly how. This level's name might be a reference to the 1978 Raymond's album of the same name, as with Ruination, the third and final island from Crash Bandicoot 1 can be seen in the background of this level, an allusion to the ruination of Cortex's empire. This island can be physically reached in Crash Bandicoot 2, albeit only in the form of a secret warp room where the other 2 islands from the previous game can be seen also. So there you go, that's all the trivia and everything. So I thank you for watching. The challenge of the video is, how many logs did the monkey throw at me during my entire time in Road to Ruin? Thank you for watching. Next we'll do Unbearable and the levels that follow after that. So until then, later everyone.